I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait. Wait for the perfect time and attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time and attack. Do what you have to do, make it last. Wait for the perfect time and attack. Don't run for this, you change the back. Wait for the perfect time and attack. Wait for the perfect time and attack. Wait for the perfect time and attack.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Wrestling Mayhem Show 977 Tuesdays. We've been talking about professionalized wrestling, building the plane as we're flying it, obviously, if you're on visuals. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron in Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA, back with you live on a Tuesday night. Hope you guys enjoyed our discussion with Brianna Bands that we had actually before the 880 wrestling show. Harvest Moon, wasn't it, I think? The announcer in front of me will tell me that, I think, because they probably said it a lot over that week. But we had a lot of fun with that and a lot of great responses to the clips we've been putting out over the last week on social media. So, and really looking forward to having her on the show in the future as well. So, but in the meantime, all my regulars are gone, guys. All my co-hosts are off doing other things, being parents, being sleepy, having flights in the morning. But that's okay, because we got a talker with us. And by the talker, I mean, of course, intern Tony is with us here.
Hello.
Hello. He's watched some WWE, some conversations, but also we have our guest, our main event guest for this week. Let me get this right, 880's most elite announcer. I think we've been going by, right? Austin Cairns is with us.
You know it. It's good to be here, Sorg.
There you go. Wait. We got to put our title in the corner. We're just going to make it most elite for this episode.
Most elite.
Most elite. Go there you go. So thank you for making the Elite Mayhem show. So you had an experience. We'll talk about it later in the show, but if you saw the image for the show or anything like that, you did get to have quite an experience at an AEW Dynamite here in the Pittsburgh area. You got to the announcer desk. You got to meet a Tony and a Daniel. And
I was in places that I should not have been. Long story short.
Hey, that's being backstage at a wrestling show, right? You know. I love that's the headline. I was places I definitely should not have been. So I don't know that did he wander through catering when he wasn't supposed to, or just I should not be here right now. But that's a good vibe, and we're going to talk about that and everything. But of course, we want to talk about what's going on in the world. Myself, I've been on the road, so I did the crash course on what happened with WWE television in the last week. Watched the top 10s on YouTube to get the idea what's happening. Catching up on the news with the Crown. I keep wanting to call it Crown Royal. That's not right. There was just some Crown Royal incidents over the weekend. Not what you think when I say something like that. But anyways, so we do have, this is in Australia. Crown Jewel is now the champion versus champion show, where we get an even bigger championship belt and a ring, I think we get now too. Or was it a trophy? I can't remember what we have here. But we're in Perth, Australia. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be interesting. Austin, what's your vibe? We got Cody versus Seth. We got Tiffany versus Stephanie on this one. Do you like this concept?
I mean, the concept's interesting this time around. I'm not going to lie. I'm really excited for that women's tag match with Asuka and Io and Rhea. I really like the way they've been building it on Monday Night Raw. And I don't know if you saw this or not. Did you see that Alabama Slam that Kairi Sane, I think it was, delivered to Io Sky on Monday Night Raw? Did you see that?
I know. I didn't catch that one. No.
Oh my God, it was brutal.
I caught the elbow. The assisted insane elbow.
Yeah.
It's been so wicked looking the last few weeks they've been doing that.
Yeah, no, it's been crazy. But no, I mean, card seems pretty stacked this time around. I mean, they need to have a banger show after that disaster of WrestlePalooza. So yeah, they got to come out swinging for this one.
And I know by all accounts, even ESPN saying that it was a C grade show.
Yeah.
Was it really that much of a disaster? Like what made it such a disaster? To me, I just watched it after the fact, so there was a little bit of bloom out the rose watching it anyways. So I don't feel like I had a good read on it. Because I think we had a show, spoiled a couple of winners by the time I got to it on social media the next day. But what was so bad about that? Is because like the Brock devastation, or
I feel like it was the Brock devastation, but it was also like the card placement. Your first ever appearance on ESPN in that regard, you have a squash match to start things off with Lesnar and Cena for their last time. So I feel like that was kind of what set the tone early on. But it's not like really any of the matches were bad per se. I actually really like Stephanie Valkyria and Io Sky's match. I thought that was
it was very good.
That was a really good match. But I just feel like for your first time on ESPN, the stakes were not met in that regard.
No, I mean, having Brock obviously has a little can of worms with it, with weird vibes over some of his allegations and everything with that. And to we know that's the only appearance. That's what we did. That was the finale. We're going out the way we started with him destroying him. Which taking out all the other stuff, I don't know, story wise, that kind of makes sense to me. Honestly, I was like, well, greatest hits when it comes to that. But yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like kind of like, hey, we kind of. Between that, you had AJ Lee's return in the match. That was a big deal. So you can't say it didn't have big. For the people that wanted to see, oh, wow, AJ Lee's back. Oh, hey, Brock's back. And they don't know or care about the other stuff. And there's some people that don't know. Like don't shame anybody for cheering for Brock Lesnar because they may literally not read those stories.
That is true.
So I can't broadly fault the audience for being behind this. But the smart marks know. But
It's so cool seeing AJ Lee back too in WWE with CM Punk and everything.
yes, without the luggage.
And you got to give all the props to Seth and Becky on that too. I mean, they're the ones that's really MVPs of the story here. They really put AJ over in this.
No, it was great. It was a lot of fun. And it was a great. I think we kind of dropped her off after that match.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping she pops up again. I didn't expect her to be a full timer.
No.
By any. But I mean, maybe she pop up WrestleMania or Survivor Series or something, right? So. But that was great. She looked great out there. She seemed to be having a great time, and I think that's what's important. Then we're having a great time, So, from T-Pop is in the chat room joining us as usual. WWE's been doing better job lately about building up storylines outside of the title pictures. This is true.
That's a good point.
Io, Kyrie, Asuka, Rhea situation. This whole Usos, Punk, and guy.
LA Knight.
Yeah, I kept wanting to say Eli Drake. I'm like, no. I've been watching a lot of the Cody interview stuff where he's talking about earlier in his career, so I keep thinking Eli Drake, not La Knight. It's French.
Could have said Max Dupree.
Oh, Dupree! Yes! Related, MXM collection popped up. We had Collision on here. We're trying to catch up a little bit before the shows, and they're tremendous. They're just absolutely tremendous.
Hilarious.
So, and then he got destroyed by the Callis family. So, but yeah, no, I'm into this. I'm loving the Asuka triangle situation that's going on there. I think that's like we're getting. There's always a clamoring for, can we get the Black Lotus tribe versus Penta again, like in Lucha Underground? But like we're getting bits and pieces of that. We're getting reminded this is why these women were like awesome in Japan, and they get to play together, right? Sure. This has been really fun.
For sure. No, and Asuka, I mean, she's just been on an absolute roll because she was down for that injury for, what was it, like 7-8 months or whatever? And then she came back, and we all thought she was just going to be kind of thrown into like the whole Kabuki Warrior storyline again, or Damage Control or whatever, just in a random tag team. But no, she's coming to her own now. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, they're giving her a lot of space to do her thing. I love that they let them use their own language.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll subtitle, and sometimes they just let them go. And I think that's one of the cool things is you don't need to understand the language to understand what's happening. Right. Some of us that watched New Japan before they had everything had English commentators, before Kevin Kelly was there all the time, before Walker was there all the time. And we're just like, I don't know what's going on. Like, Matt Carnes would call on the show and be like, I don't know what's going on, but I kind of know what's going on. But I love the energy.
No, I mean, they had a backstage segment on Raw where, like, Asuka was talking to Kyrie, and Kyrie was like, I don't know if I want to go out there. It's Io. And then Asuka said a bunch of stuff and slapped the hell out of her. I don't know what she said, but, I mean, I got the vibe. I got the energy.
Yeah. You got the story.
You got the story, yeah.
So, and I love that. That's, I feel like that is trusting your audience, too, and not thinking they're idiots, right? And that's a really cool thing. So, John Cena, AJ Styles.
Oof.
No build, no story. They may have had one face-to-face, right?
I don't think so.
No? I thought
so.
they had one early on, but John hasn't even been on TV the last few weeks. And we're having this supposedly based on a tweet. I think it happened. So that's tremendous. AJ, we know, is on his own kind of retirement tour, too. Primus says he might be next WrestleMania, and he's out kind of thing. He's been really kind of low-key about it, but says it's happening. I love that this is happening because it was like the beat-up John Cena. Too bad they never made a shirt. He was lamenting about that recently on an interview. I mean, I'm here for it because I think those guys will have a lot of fun. I mean, you're already seeing John pull out everybody's moves in the middle of matches, between Edge and who else did he do?
Yeah, pop-up powerbomb.
Pop-up powerbomb for Kevin Owens and things like that. He even hit
an end of days, too.
Mm-hmm. The best sequence is seeing him do the Edge-style spear and then watching the AEW, it was all-out pay-per-view, and Edge does the You Can't See Me. And the entire crowd is in on it. Hearing You Can't See Me in an AEW pay-per-view was so wild. So it's a beautiful thing that's happening. It's like you can talk about the maybe flubs or not with the heel Cena story. I loved going for the ride personally. In retrospect, obviously, like, it got weird at the end. Oh, we're just a face. Oh, okay. But it still was interesting.
It was very interesting too. I'm just curious on how they're going to do these last 5 dates because it's only 5 left. You get 3 events and then 2 Monday Night Raws. That's really
Something
about
like
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just
Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, Saturday night
We're
main
getting
event.
one.
You got Survivor Series. You got 2 Raws and then Perth. Or not Perth. Australia.
It's almost it, man. It's
Yeah.
almost it. The last few chances.
It's crazy.
And then you got Roman and Bronson. I love that they respond to as the Bronze.
The Bronze.
Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker.
Tribal Chief, Tribal Thief.
Tribal Thief. Guy Bronson Reed is just so coming into his own on this stuff right now. It's tremendous. So did I? And again, I'm just catching kind of the last part of it here. So Roman just showed up to like, hey, I'm going to fight your ass again, basically, right? But you steal a man's shoes, he will not stop coming after you. That's what we learned from this storyline.
That is crossing the line. You do not take another man's shoes.
So, anyways, we do have somebody popping in. We have a lifeline coming in here. I think we've unmuted. No, here, we'll unmute him now. Mad Mike, are you with us? Oh, you blew out Zoom with whatever that was.
That was me saying Rapidu.
Rapidu, yes.
Rapidu.
We were just going over the Crown Jewel lineup here with our new friend Austin. Mad Mike, this is Austin.
Hi, Austin.
What's up?
Austin got to meet Tony Khan a couple weeks ago, and we're going to talk about that a little later.
Fantastic.
I'm sure you
have
have.
meet Tony Khan. I've gotten to meet Triple H. It's all Dutch door act.
That's right. I'm sure you've also been places you weren't supposed to be before.
That's the theme of
Always
today.
places I'm not supposed to be.
We'll talk about those on Patreon. But anyways, but so yeah, before we go to the Patreon shout outs here, Mike, I want to get your thoughts on this Crown Jewel, how it's shaping up in Australia this weekend. And also love your, what is that, a 5 a.m. start, 8 a.m. start time for our friends on the West Coast?
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's not stellar. That's not stellar Skarsgård, but it is what it is. It's Australia time. Crown Jewel is interesting. I think the card is pretty good. Me personally, I wouldn't have done Cena and AJ.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have, because I caught what you guys were saying a little bit. There's only 5 days left. There's not a lot. I'd prefer Cena going in there with someone who he hasn't tangled with before. I had this idea, this fantasy pie in the sky booking, where John Cena would come out on a Raw, and he would say, I've done pretty much everything that I could do in my career. The one thing I never had the opportunity to do is to go after the Intercontinental Championship. And Judgment Day comes out, and Dom says, "Listen, I'm king of the cruiserweights. You're not even coming near me or anything like that." And they have a back and forth and all that stuff. And Dom says, "Oh, you have history with my family," and Cena has no idea what he's talking about. And Cena's like, "All right, fine. Well, if you're not willing to put your title on the line, I guess I'll just have to go after someone else." And as Cena leaves the arena, Judgment Day beat him down. And then you get Dom saying, "I will give you a shot at the Intercontinental title in a parking lot brawl."
Just like dear old dad Eddie Guerrero
Just like
back in the
dear
day.
old dad.
Yes. I looked that up while you were saying, I was like, oh, this is,
Yep. Just like dear old dad. And then the best thing is Cena can beat the crap out of Dom. He can beat the crap out of Finn. He can beat the crap out of JD. And then Brock Lesnar shows up, F5 Cena onto a car. Dom hits a frog splash from one car onto the other, just like Eddie, to beat Cena. I think it would be perfect, but we're not doing that.
I'm here. You're not slipping any notes under anybody's doors anymore for that one. No, I like the play. I like the play for that. And I think as again, watching clips from Raw and seeing that you have Penta and all those people across from him in that match, and they're still chanting for Dominic. The energy he has is so tremendous.
When he actually turns face, it's going to be the biggest thing in the world.
You know what? Him turning face is not him turning face. He's going to be one of those guys, think Stone Cold, where he literally doesn't change anything he does, but will just... Eddie. Yeah, or Eddie. Yeah.
It's going to be Eddie.
Or Eddie, or Ric Flair eventually.
No, because Austin beat the crap out of people.
Yes.
It just depended on who he was aimed at.
Yes.
He's just going to be Eddie, and everyone should be okay with that.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe he gets detached from Judgment Day because that writing's been on the wall for like a year now, it feels. So it was like, man, Finn, you just keep fucking with him. What are you doing? You know, you're just going to keep fucking with him? Is this just your favorite pastime right now? Or are we actually going to move on with something like this, right? So, you know what? Finn Balor versus Dominic for the Mega Championship would be tremendous. Why not, right? So, he's practically a luchador. He's got that damn puppet. You know, I guess he does have his own feud, doesn't he, with that puppet? He's
definitely lucha adjacent.
He definitely is lucha. He probably spent some time down there on his career trajectory,
I'm
right?
Sure, he was in Mexico at some point.
Has to have been, right? Anyways, thank you everybody. Again, that's this weekend. We'll talk more about it next week, obviously. So everybody, get up, get your Cheerios, warm up some Pop-Tarts and some coffee, apparently, and 8 a.m., 5 a.m., depending on which coast you're on, and everything in the between. So hey, cool. You know, but again, I think most people are gonna watch it on demand. You have access to it.
But before we move on from Australia, though. There's one thing I've been waiting to say.
We already know that the toilets go the other way.
No. This is wrestling related.
Okay. So's mine.
Sorg, do you know who wrestled tonight on NXT?
I am not aware of that, actually.
From Australia. From another company. They used to be in WWE. You could say they're...
Iconic, yes.
My girls are back.
Your girls
My
are
girls
back.
are back.
Are they iconic?
No, they can't. They're introduced as the inspiration, but they came out to their iconic theme song because we are petty and we don't want to give Harley Cameron any credit. And guess what?
Sad.
I'm okay with it.
Could you have imagined if Harley Cameron stuck around and they found something for her to do?
Well, Harley Cameron, I don't think was ever really employed.
I thought she was a performance.
She might have been, but like she was very WWE adjacent. Like she did stuff with Shotzi. She did stuff with
Scarlett
Woods.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't think she was ever employed. I think she was
what the research department that here in a little bit. If anybody's out there in the chat, or if you have a moment here while I'm doing this next bit. But anyways, in the meantime, let's give a shout out to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. They help keep this show going, helping pay for that server that keeps the podcast out there and everything else around the show. And we do have a Patreon feed that goes all night. You could hear about the really terrible rom-com we did for the Awesome Cast Patreon that we were. Don't leave your video apps logged in at the Airbnb. Make sure you log out of those before you leave, because you never know what diabolical person is going to find the lowest rated rom-coms. It's Katie. It's Tutters. And watch them. And then somebody else is going to log into Betty's YouTube and start watching Star Trek videos and wrestling videos and Chad the Bird, and his stuff. So, just watch out for that. But thank you, everybody that does support the show. Wrestling Mayhem, or patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Our friends at the Fan Show level. Bo Diggity! Woo! The interns haven't caught on yet. You're supposed to woo with us. Team Hammerfist, Tupac family, Bubba Brewer. Where was I at? Jason French at the Poppy Club level, Dave Prop Bonner, Razzling Trenchcoat, Tony Kincaid, True Prince of Pro, T-Pop, The Riz, Justin Cleaver, and at the manager level, Bradley. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show at patreon.com. We do a typically a Patreon after show when we have the normal scheduling happening. Obviously we didn't, since we were kind of on the road for this last week, as may happen, but we will make up for that tonight. Mike, I think we'll talk about probably Peacemaker spoilers or something, right? So
and I have Lego updates.
Ooh, Lego updates. They're not up there on the shelf behind you. Oh, you got a nice turtle line up there though. I see.
Thank you.
I finally have you on a good screen so I can see your details. So I'm just looking at his turtles up there. There you go. There you go.
I gotta take them out of the packaging. I'm good.
Do ya? I have I got one of
Let
them.
them loose.
Ronnie gave me one of those movie guys, and I didn't.
They're the cheaper ones.
I think he had already opened it, then he gave it to me. I was just like, okay, whatever. So.
By the way, research department, Harley Cameron was never part of the PC.
Okay, officially.
She dated former NXT wrestler Zion Quinn. And that sparked her interest in pro wrestling.
Oh.
But she was never part of the PC herself.
Oh, they're just like, hey, you sing, let's do this music video for Halloween kind of deal, right?
Yeah, they did. She did a music video for the party, which if you haven't seen it, I 10,000% recommend it. It's a song for the party, and she's like, she sings, you know, the baddest boys playing Uno, Uno. It's a great song. It's fantastic. But apparently, she trained with Breeze and Sean Spears at Flatbacks.
Oh, okay.
So,
there you go.
So
and there she is. There's a little bit of the video from the Danny Alexo's deal there. So
and she did. I believe she did the "I'll Put a Spell on You" with Shotzi and Scarlett.
Yes, she did.
She did that too, and then she did obviously the Inspirations theme song, and now she is currently being wasted in AEW because she should be a champion. She should be a champion, Sorg.
Yes, she should be a champion.
She should be
at least in line to be a champion. I will give you that.
She should be a champion. Her and Puppet Monet should be tagged.
I mean, Puppet Monet came up again as potentially tagging with Mercedes. So I mean, we're on a path. And actually, they're setting them up for the women's tag team tournament.
Oh, they better be. Harley Cameron is like.
Mercedes needs that 10th belt.
Harley Cameron is like the unsung hero of the AEW women's locker room because she can do anything. She
can be a cat. She can come back to QTV and say, "Roll the footage." She can. Be. She's a puppeteer. Apparently, I mean,
yeah. She's a ventriloquist. She's a singer. Like. She can do anything she sets her mind out.
She can be part of the most pro-gay segment in like pro wrestling history with Anthony Bowens.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the most pro-gay.
On television, yes. Oh, I mean,
okay.
Yes, that was like one of the biggest kind of moments, I thought.
Sure. Okay.
Because we've never had anything like that before. Like we had only had Billy Chuck to look up to up to that point. So
there's some other stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, a little bit.
There's some other stuff.
Not Orlando Jordan. So
no, heavens, no. Don't, Sorg, take your name out of his mouth.
Okay, moving on. I'm going to go back to my notes now. Before I go too far down this road. Andrade is back in AEW, ladies and gentlemen. And I love all the infographics that's talking about the ins and outs of Andrade's career. He got let go for disciplinary, which may be wellness policy, and now he's just looking buff over in AEW instead.
If you get wellness policy in 2025, you're just looking to get fired.
Yeah.
Can we all agree on that?
Yeah. Like you should know by now how that works, I guess.
I mean, at some point you have to think it's him.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. You have to think it's him.
And it's not that we've heard anything as egregious like that. Should not be in a locker room or anything like that.
No, it just seems like he's difficult to work with. And he was also one of the people that was pushing for El Patron coming back. And I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah, that's an issue. So, but that's WWE's can of words. Not they bought that situation, but I don't know. He's going to be in the Don Callis family, so there's that. They have 1 million people on that team, including a second hologram, Clonus, I think it is. Sounds like a transformer from the reboot
It's
movie.
just clone.
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 And he has all the tattoos.
Yes,
I
all
just-
the tattoos.
It looks nothing like Ares from MLW. Nothing at all. So,
Isn't hologram like injured though?
I am unaware. They beat
Thought
him up.
Hologram was like a lot injured now.
Oh no, maybe that's why they beat him up a lot, and they hot-shotted the clone guy popping up. So
Oh yeah, probably.
that makes sense if that's the story. So
By the way, so AEW is doing Title Tuesday tonight, right?
yes,
I'm looking. They have 2 title matches.
okay. Are they big title matches?
Well, one is a Mercedes Open Challenge,
Okay.
and the other is Kyle Fletcher versus Kyle O'Reilly. So let's go, Kyle.
I love the Lights Go Kyle shows. I'm looking
And
at
there's also a double Jeopardy eliminator match, which is not a tag team title match between Brodito and Okada and Takeshita.
I think 2 title matches are enough to call you a Title Tuesday. I think that's appropriate.
I don't think it is.
Well, I think they're just like, hey, we got stuck on a Tuesday. We're going to call it Title Tuesday. We don't know what's going to happen. Oh, hey, TNA showed up all over NXT.
Oh, hey, we're doing Invasion, and this time it's actually kind of fun.
Well, and aren't they? I've heard complaints about that. Again, I haven't seen the full lineup for it. I'm catching up. I have not watched from No Mercy on, basically, at this point. I live in a world where Obama Femi is still the NXT champion, apparently, if I've read the
Say
internet
Obama
right.
Femi?
Obama.
Now let me be clear. I am the ruler of the ring and the NXT champion.
Sure, sure.
That was a terrible Obama, but
That was, you know what? That
a
was
very
too
good
bad.
Obama Femi.
Yes, seems exactly right. I don't know. I think they just got stuck in a situation now. Everybody's just doing their version of what they think is good
Well,
tonight.
they're building up for
So-
Bound for Glory, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. So that, and I imagine we're going to still have a lot of NXT. Bound for Glory has to be the TNA gets one back show, since that's
Oh, Bound for
basically
Glory is
their
when Trick is
WrestleMania.
losing that belt. Absolutely.
yeah.
10,000%.
So
That's fine. That's where it should be.
No, and I love. There was like some complaints a couple weeks ago about like a terrible NXT show where I think the first like all the TNA guys showed up. Everybody's freaking out because Matt Cardona is there as Matt Cardona and as Zack Ryder. You know,
Which was wild.
yeah.
I love that they called him Matt Cardona. That's great. That's good stuff.
But again, it's like you're the TNA thing, right? So, but also there was like some confusion because like some people that are like, I think, was it Kalani Jordan's the Knockouts champion now? Yeah, I didn't even finish.
Yes.
I don't think I finished the last TNA plus show either. That's why I was waiting for it to get to No Mercy.
I think that got shuffled around basically due to everything that happened with Masha Slamovich.
Oh yeah. So there's a lot of stuff there.
I'm pretty sure that's kind of a we have to change this real quick.
Yeah, and those don't know, there's news that Masha was maybe abusive in a relationship, I guess, and it's under investigation. So there was some hot potato happening around that last, was it Emergence or Victory Road show that they did?
I believe so,
the Victory Show Road show, I got through like probably like half or 3/4 of it, and it was very strange because between that and there was like another change in matches, and it just felt like that indie show you go to where half the people had to cancel because of flights. So like I think we've all been to that indie show, right? So
And also didn't Dana Brooke have to vacate the title too?
yeah, she's injured,
health
apparently
reasons?
done with wrestling. Nobody that I've heard, if you've heard differently, has said what happened.
I haven't heard anything. I just heard that it was for health reasons, and I hope everything's okay with her.
I saw the
But I mean,
yeah.
you know that does kind of suck when
Yeah.
you're building to a big TNA NXT and your two like big champions kind of have to
and
get
you're
switched around real quick.
and you're building a group that hinges on her. and bringing up Heather and I forget the other girl's name, Emma, I think it is.
The elegance.
Yeah, the Elegance, and that I think last I knew have the Knockouts tag champs.
Not anymore.
I still need to catch up. So
Sorg. Spoiler alert.
there you go. There you go. Man,
My girls.
You're in
My girls
such
are back.
like out of all of this that's happening, this whole TNA NXT universe has to be the most interesting for you right now, given your history, given the Iconics and all this. Like, you are just in like your zone right now with what they're doing over there.
As soon as I saw they were coming back to TNA, I'm like, I'm like, and now we play the waiting game.
Mm-hmm. The same thing with Elias.
Yeah,
he did the same thing.
Yeah, I'm sure he's coming back.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's injured. He already did. He already popped up at NXT before he got injured.
That's weird because I didn't see him as part of the invasion stuff.
He's been injured.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. He got injured a couple months ago at TNA, but he came in. He may have even had a match, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had a TNA title match against Trick. Maybe at NXT. Maybe at a pay-per-view. I can't entirely recall. It's all meshing together. Because now we live in this universe.
Mercedes Monet's challenge.
What's that?
Tina said who answered Mercedes Monet's challenge. If you want.
Ooh, wait. Who's that?
She teamed with Casey Catanzaro.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Pretty sure.
Lacey Lane. Formerly
Caden Carter, right?
Caden Carter,
yeah. That's what I thought.
And isn't she also in a relationship with Damian Priest?
I think that was a rumor. I don't know.
Okay. I thought I saw pictures. I don't know, but either way, no, that's cool. No, that's probably a good match. She was really good. She never found a spot in WWE, but one other thing I wanted to mention. Did you guys watch SmackDown this week?
I watched some of it.
Did you see Javon Evans?
Oh, yeah.
Attack the cameraman. Does a dive. Also, the clips I'm seeing from this match, they were doing some interesting low-angle shots, it seemed, during much of this. Like across the front and stuff like that. They were definitely playing with it a little bit.
Because that boy is bouncy.
Because that boy is bouncy, and you got to play with the bouncy, right? Yep. Plus, also, wasn't he teaming like Ray Phoenix?
Yeah, because Andrade left. So.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have a buddy, so he got the bouncy guy. So hey, don't hate that. Yeah, because him and Andrade had like a great like ladder match. Yeah. A little bit ago.
Not if you ask Andrade.
No, yeah.
Andrade, I'm sure was like, oh, I should be the one beating Cody and then going on to beat Seth Rollins with Crown Jewel.
There's that too, I guess. Lola Vice is the one dating Damian. I can't keep up anymore. So either way,
wrestlers be dating.
They be dating.
Wrestlers be dating.
What am I doing? Jeez. I don't know. Wrestlers hit me up every Tuesday for messages on shows in the middle of the show, and it throws me off. Yeah, but he does a dive, hits the guy, apparently takes I don't think the cameraman went down, but he definitely got hit. And it was a really cool shot.
Sturdy.
Yes.
They're sturdy guys.
Oh, yeah. I went with somebody. We went to AEW. Thank you for you know who you are that got us tickets for AEW. And one of the guys I brought with me was actually amazed at how in shape the cameramen were. And was like, yeah, they don't sweat. To my knowledge, when they have like a 5-hour, 6-hour, 0-hour AEW show, I don't think they switch cameramen during that process.
No.
You got to be, like I talk with the guys about how I started working out because I didn't want to feel like shit at ringside holding a camera for a 3-hour show. Or it would be a 5-hour show, some of these promotions we work for reasons. So, you gotta be, and those are big cameras. I've seen people just start losing it when they have those shorter rigs that aren't even as big as the ones that they use on WWE TV and everything like that. So yeah, hey, some of them may have even trained. How many referees and managers are trained and other people around it, and things like that.
I thought I heard a rumor a while ago that everyone, if you're potentially on camera, you do have to train to take a bump.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I think even like Kathy Kelly, like all the announcers, like
The announcers do too?
I think they have trained to take a bump just in case something happens.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're like called upon for something.
Yeah, hey, when we do a spot with you where Brock Lesnar's going to murder you, Michael Cole. So, which, you know, it makes, I mean, I think it's a good safety thing, you know?
By the way, the most scared Michael Cole's ever been, I think he has trauma blocked Heidenreich.
Yeah. I mean, haven't we all?
I think he's trauma blocked Heidenreich.
No, I mean, that makes sense because, you know, in kind of related to that, it was interesting. I was talking to the announcer AJ over at OVW. He was on a show in Cleveland with us several months ago. And in Kentucky, because you know certain states have different licenses. Like some, you have to get like physicals for some of them. Like I know some of the wrestlers we know have to talk about like, yeah, I gotta get a physical for like Kentucky or Tennessee or Maryland or something like that in order to even wrestle there. You know, for your $20 whatever wrestling show. But that's mean, but it's true sometimes. But he says that anybody that's inside the barricade also needs the license and physical. And I think over 40, you have to take the physical every year. So if you're a camera person, you have to have a license.
Wow.
If you're an announcer that they set up inside the barricade, you need a license. It's like if you're a cord wrangler, you need a license. Anybody inside that barricade needs to be licensed with the Athletic Commission in Kentucky.
That makes sense, though.
Does
like,
it?
It sounds annoying, but it's cover your ass.
What does that cover? It's not insurance. And
but if someone tries to come at the Athletic Commission and say I was in an unsafe working environment, they can say, "Well, you didn't have a license."
Yeah, I guess there's that, but I don't know if that's entirely how that works. From my understanding of the Athletic Commission, could be different in Kentucky. But and I have my opinions about how it works here in PA. And I've had these conversations with members of the commissions themselves.
Sometimes your cousin can be your wife in Kentucky. A lot of things are different.
That's true. Okay, that's true. I did just come from the South, and wow, yeah, sometimes. So
11 herbs and spices, 11 cousins.
You know, sometimes you're like, they're just like us. Then you go visit, and you're just like, no, not really, not really. Like in some ways,
and then you try to play "They're Not Like Us," and they're like, "We don't play that music here."
We need to move on. So, thank you guys supporting things going on around the wrestling world at IndieWrestling.us. 8A Wrestling, we had a great. It was pre-taped last week, I know, but that was a great show that they had for Thursday night fights. Every Thursday night live. In most cases, unless we have a technical reason we cannot do the show on Thursdays. It's a scheduling, actually. We were actually in mentioned Carolina. We were in South Carolina for around Greenville, South Carolina, for the Baja SAE Carolina event, which was tremendous. We got to do a really awesome live stream on the track and do some really cool stuff. We actually talked about it on Awesome Cast this evening on, I think that is 477. No, that's what this is. 4 something. Whatever the latest episode of Awesome Cast. If you want to go check out some background about that trip and some of the things we did out in a motocross track for that event. But a lot of really cool stuff happening there. We have coming up here in a couple of weeks. In one weekend, I think we have the 880 Wrestling World Series back at Penn Brewery. We're hoping it's going to be outside again. Praying, Reese Hayes is praying to the David Lynch, the god of David Lynch, I guess, for good weather. And of course, we do have RWA has their Bloody Harvest match, our show that's going to have Glenn Spector and Crash for the RWA Championship. We are also going to have Neo Pro, and you may want to keep an ear out for news for Neo Pro that I need to confirm soon. So it's going to be a very, very busy weekend for IndieWrestling.us. The weekend of the weekend of the AEW pay-per-view. So the weekend of the 18th. So a lot of stuff there, and plus a lot of great stuff coming out all the time. Matches, shows. Top Rope Tabletop's going to come up with the Halloween edition, I believe, in a couple weeks. Now that I've gotten through the COVID cancellation, we might bring back the poker show that we tried with Gory and friends. A lot of fun stuff there. IndieWrestling.us, getting your local wrestling needs. And also a shout out to our friends at NWA Exodus Pro. The only way to see that in Cleveland is in person for their Hexodus show. That's going to be a lot of fun. Getting the notes about what that show is going to shape up to look like this weekend. And always good to be hanging out with that Cleveland crew up there. And you never know who's going to show up from that NWA realm too. And a lot of friends of the show are making headwinds into the NWA Exodus Pro show and making on NWA TV. So I'm always interested to see what Cowpoke Paul was just on AEW Collision and Ring of Honor in the last week. And looking great out there in some trios matches. So that's really cool to see friends of the show involved and you know, getting opportunities like that too. So I think other friend of the show, Katie Arquette, is even on this last week's Ring of Honor from the Pittsburgh taping. So keep an eye out for that too. But, of course, I mentioned 880 Wrestling, and we can't do that without talking about 880's most elite, Austin Cairns, with us here in the studio. You had a very interesting experience.
Yes.
We talked about, I think I may have mentioned on the show, I came in, you know, we had a show here in the studio, so I couldn't get out of here to see the dark matches or anything like that, and the Ring of Honor tapings, which I always love to see who pops up on those. I feel like I'm the only one that's exciting for Ring of Honor tapings when these guys come to town. I was sad when that show ended at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And there wasn't like 5 Ring of Honor matches for me to watch, you know, when half the arena empties. So
I think they were surprised too.
Right? It was just like, oh, that's it. I mean, ending on Darby Allin with a damn flamethrower gun is kind of a good way for us to go home, but
I got a funny Darby story for you too later about the whole flamethrower incident.
Okay,
I was
all right.
Gorilla when he came back, so...
There you go. I was trying to see if it was a boring flamethrower. I got to hold one of those in Vegas one time. So I get in, and my compatriots are just like, fucking Austin was down there. I'm like, what are you talking about? Austin was down here. Like, I walked in, I heard a 1, 2, 3 while I'm going through security, and I hear Hook's music. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. He's like, and I'm like, Austin. First of all, I was like, Austin who? It just wasn't tracking at the time. You know, like just like the context. I'm like, I don't know an AEW guy named Austin, right? And I'm just like, no, from 880. I'm like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, he did this match and he was on commentary. And I'm like, that's impossible. And then like eventually I saw your post and I'm like, holy shit. We talked about it. Tell us what happened. First of all, how did you find yourself in this position to be ringside at AEW before they went on for Dynamite? Tell me about this.
Well, I have a connection through Point Park University, which is where I currently go to college.
And Point Park's a pretty good broadcast school, too.
Very good broadcasting school, yes. And I had a connection with an EVP there. And originally, I thought I was just going to be in the production truck the entire time. That was what I was initially told. I was like, yeah, you can come down, you get a viewing of it. We can show you how you put on production, kind of give you a tour of the place, and then just kind of hang out during the show. And I was like, okay, this is awesome. So I get there. And there was a lot of moving parts. Moxley was warming up in the ring. You had Darby Allin. You had Roderick Strong. Just everybody doing their own thing backstage.
Are you just like on a list or something? Or
So I kind of just showed up. I took 2 buses there, and I just went up to the security guard. I said, "Hey, I'm here to shadow." And they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Okay, let me make a call real quick." And he pulls out his phone. He makes a call. And he's like, "All right, right this way." I'm like, "All right, cool." And they just take me right into the Pete. So I literally just kind of showed up there and said, "Yeah, I'm here to shadow."
Okay.
And I get back there. And I meet Amanda Huber, the widow of Brody Lee. And I didn't even know it was her at first until she started talking about her son. And I was like, wait a minute, you're the widow of Brody Lee. And she was like, yeah, and she's amazing. And she showed me around the whole place. And they kind of caught on a little bit that I do commentary and stuff here in Pittsburgh. I told them about some of the stuff I've done with IWC and 880 and just kind of been all over the place. And they were like, hey, well, we'll take you around and you can actually be down here during the show instead of just the production trucks and get like more visual of like what the commentators do and what the wrestlers do beforehand. I was like, okay, this is sick. So next thing you know, I find myself in hair and makeup. I don't know how I'm there. We're in hair and makeup. I'm getting tours there. Mark Briscoe's shooting a promo. They have Chris Statlander getting all ready to go. They're showing me gear that they're debuting on the show tonight. And they take me up to catering, which catering was amazing, by the way. I just got to say.
I've heard from some of our friends.
The catering was amazing. Outside the lobster ravioli, that was awful. But everything else was amazing. And we're up in catering, and I found out that Orange Cassidy was there. And Orange Cassidy's been gone for a while, if I'm not mistaken, on AEW. So when I was getting on the elevator and I saw him, I was like, wait a minute, you're returning tonight. And he was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, this is sick. So we get downstairs, talking to all the extras, Derek Dillinger, Katie Arquette, really good friends with them. And we're just kind of BSing and talking. It's me, Amanda, Derek, and Katie kind of in this circle. And one of the EVPs come by, pull Amanda to the side, whisper something in her ear. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she goes, yeah, Austin, by the way, you're on commentary tonight. I'm like, me? And she's like, yeah, you're going to go on commentary. You're going to call a dark match. You're going to call Hook and one of the local talents. And I was like, okay. And she goes, are you comfortable doing that? And I'm like, yeah, I'm comfortable doing that, but I don't have any notes.
Which is a great thing is always say yes.
Yeah,
right?
I always say yeah. And the craziest part, it was 20 minutes before the dark tapings were happening, before Ring of Honor and stuff. Because they did 2 Ring of Honor matches, and then they did Hook's match just as like a regular dark match.
Yeah.
So,
which they never do, by the way. I've never noticed them doing a match that definitely wasn't going on, at least intended to be like an AEW Dark at least, or a Ring of Honor or something, right?
It was a weird layout the way they did it, but I know Katie was in one of the matches, and I think Zoe Sky was in the match before.
Yeah, and I think those are both on this last week's like Ring of Honor TV.
Yeah.
I think I saw the announcements. Yeah,
those were the most recent ones, and then Hook's match was just the final one, and it was just like a 5 to 6 minute squash match. It was nothing crazy. So I'm trying to pull up all the notes that I can. I kind of already know Hook's background, but like I really don't know what's going on. I was talking to Taz and Shivani and Excalibur earlier in the day, just getting advice from them. So I don't know if there was any parallels there with Taz and Hook, because Hook is Taz's son or whatever. But whenever I found out I was doing Hook's match, I'm like, okay, I got to do research. I got to figure out who these guys are. I usually have notes ready to go. I don't have anything prepared. So I'm on my phone trying to Google everything. And they take me out to the floor director. I'm kind of sitting there during the 2 Ring of Honor matches, and they say, okay, as soon as you get the cue, you're going to follow me. We're going to go over to the timekeeper's area, and you can go sit down at the desk and call the match. I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. So Justin Roberts came over to me, which I thought was pretty cool, because Justin Roberts was the ring announcer in WWE when I was growing up, so it was already pretty cool seeing him come up to me.
He was a mainstay on SmackDown, is that right?
Yep, right on SmackDown. And he came up to me, and he's like, is it Austin Cairns, Austin Cairns? I'm like, it's Austin Cairns. And he's like, okay, cool. He's like, hey, go out there, enjoy the moment, buddy, and just have fun. And I was like, oh, sick. They're going to like announce my name or something when I go sit down. This is going to be awesome. So I'm kind of standing around. The bell rings. Katie Arquette loses. I think it's Serena Deeb she was facing on the Ring of Honor tape, if I'm not mistaken. And as soon as Serena Deeb gets her arm raised, I'm being pulled by 2 security guards. 2 security guards grab my arm and are like, all right, Austin, run. I'm like, run? Where the hell are we going? I thought going to the commentator's desk. So next thing you know, I'm a gorilla now. Tony Khan's in his chair. Samoa Joe is there. There's a couple other people there too. And they're like, all right, you see that hole over there with those 2 guys sitting in black? I was like, yeah. And they're like, okay, the second you hear your name from Justin Roberts, walk out there and enjoy the moment. And before I could even process what they just said, next thing you know, I hear Justin Roberts, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Pittsburgh's own Austin Cairns. And they kind of give me a little shove. I go out there.
I love it. Like, it feels like it's in a movie where they just like, shove the unprepared, like, poor soul out on stage.
Yeah,
or,
one
like,
of the audio guys, they were just like, kind of like, go. And I was like, okay. So I walk out there. I froze on stage, not because I was taking the moment.
And you went out the entrance. Like, they didn't sneak you through the bell keeper or anything like that. You went out the entrance.
I went out the entrance. I walked out, and I was kind of already there before the show because they gave me a tour of the entire place.
Yeah.
But during the live show, I walk out there, and I have thousands of people staring at me, and I'm looking around. I'm like, I should not be here right now. This is not where I should be. So I kind of took it all in for a second, and then I kind of sped walk through. But I wanted to be in the moment, so I'm trying to shake everybody's hand, and you could tell they're like, who the hell is this guy just walking out here? So I'm shaking everybody's hand.
There's no background.
No background.
You're not even wearing, like, you're wearing a Point Park or anything on this thing? Or
no.
Like, I can't tell from the
I
picture.
was pretty dressed up. I had a button down and dress pants just to try and dress up a little bit nice. But I wasn't like in a sports coat or anything. Yeah. So I go to sit down, and it's funny because I recognize some of the 880 folks in the crowd. So like I heard them cheering for me. But the part that really threw me off was when I went to go and sit down. As soon as I put the headset on, I hear someone yell behind me, "Look, it's the Jagoff," which I don't know if that's referencing my podcast, Two Jagoffs. I don't know if that's referencing maybe I'm just the Jagoff.
That's right. Your podcast is
Two Jagoffs. Yes.
Two Jagoffs. If anybody wants to look that up, you do that with. You're doing that through Point Park, right through their facility over there, right?
I'm doing it through their facility, but I've been actually doing it for about 3 years now.
Nice,
so
nice.
It's been going pretty solid. But
did you take the podcast class?
I did take the podcast class.
Okay, good. I taught the podcast class, one of the sections of it. What was that, the last semester? So
Yeah.
So I'm familiar with it. It's a good starter point.
It's a really good class. It kind of sucked though because my podcast already been around 2 years whenever I took that class. So
I had these dudes that were already like doing a weekly hour and a half like sports one, and I'm just like, can you do like a 70-minute version for me to? I don't want to have to listen to your hour and a half show. That's great. This thing. Just give me a short one, 3 times, and then you'll get an A. Just trust me.
Yeah, I think I turned in my Andrew Palace interview actually
There you go.
for credit for one of them. I
There
was just
you
like, hey,
go.
can I just turn this in? I'm already doing an interview. And they're like, yeah, go ahead. And he was like, this was one of the funniest interviews I've ever watched. But yeah, no, I sit down at the desk and I'm like, who called me a jagoff? Because it took away all my nerves because I was like so caught up. I'm like, who the hell just called me a jagoff at
You're
AEW?
like, oh, I'm in Pittsburgh. I'm good.
Okay. 'Cause at first I was like, yeah, it's just the Pittsburgh cadence. And I was like, wait, no, maybe they're referencing my podcast. Maybe I am just a jagoff. I don't know. But I sit down, I put the headset on, and I don't know who was in my ear. It wasn't Tony. It was somebody else. And they're like, all right, Austin, look at the camera. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I give them the thumbs up, and they're like, all right, let's call it a match. And they had the monitor there and everything like that, so I kind of already had an idea of what I was doing. I was definitely nervous for the first minutes, but I called the match. They said, all right, Austin, take off the headset and follow Justin Roberts. Follow Justin Roberts backstage. They took me over to the truck, and they gave me a round of applause, which I thought was pretty cool.
Nice. There you are. There in action, of course. They got a lot more
Yeah,
better
there
headsets
it
than what
is.
I give you on Thursday nights, it looks like.
It was a nice headset.
Yes. I'm sure I can never afford those. But so like were they giving you any notes like during the match in your headset or anything like that, or you're like no, I'm on my
winged it.
own.
No.
I kept seeing these pictures and hearing about this, and I'm just like, what in the Make-A-Wish is happening here?
It was my Make-A-Wish experience.
Especially the way you told me about this, like, the next day on Thursday Night Fights. Because we're all just like, every one of us walked in and was like, what the fuck, dude? What did you do? How did you do this, right? And you know, and then, like, we got the more of, like, yeah, I did this, and I saw the belt, and I talked to Amanda, and this happened. I met Daniel Bryan and Tony, and just like,
Yeah, that happened
and
right after.
Excalibur, and da-da-da-da-da. We're just like, what? So, but it really is kind of, you know, I think this is the thing, like you asked.
I just asked.
And you got there and you weren't afraid to walk in.
Nope.
You know, I mean, you got the okay to walk in, you know, or whatever through your contacts, but you pressed on it.
I did.
And a lot of people, I think, are afraid. I know I've been afraid to do that over the years. There's certain things I did not reach out to interviews, did not do this for the show or anything like this that could have pushed things forward, right? And it takes some people a lot longer to learn that. And you're doing this at this stage. You know, what is it that, why did you push so hard going into this?
Well, I've learned in life you got to be persistent, not necessarily pushy, because pushy will kind of push you away. But if you're persistent enough and you ask so many times, they're eventually going to give in. So, I mean, I kind of
So
did.
wearing them down is the key.
Pretty much. I've been asking for about 2 months to get backstage at AEW before
Yeah.
this happened. I was just kind of begging everyone at Point Park. I was begging the dean, even the president. I was in his emails every single day, every single week, like, can you get me backstage at AEW? Can you get me backstage at AEW? I did the same thing when WWE came to town. I had no luck, but I was just pushing.
Yeah, I'm sure a little tighter to get through.
They were a lot more tighter. But again, like, you got to take every shot that you can. So I was just doing my best to push. And then I finally got a call literally 2 weeks before the show. And they said, hey, we can maybe get you to do this seminar with some of the AEW executives out of Turner Broadcasting. And we're going to stream it back to Point Park. And maybe that's your in. And I was like, okay, I like this idea. So the original plan was I was going to go to the Peterson Event Center before the show. I was going to be in a room with a bunch of the EVPs and some of the heads. And I was just going to kind of interview them, send it back to Point Park on like a Zoom call or whatever for students to watch for free and kind of learn. And then I would just kind of hang out the show all
kind
day.
of like the Stephanie and McMahon RMU
Yeah.
thing that happened a few years ago, right?
Something like that, yeah. And that kind of fell through. And they were like, well, we see how passionate you are about wrestling, so we're going to do everything in your power to at least get you there.
Are you submitting that, like, hey, I'm doing this, I'm working with these companies?
Yep.
Are you sending links or anything like that to them? Or
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm posting all the time. And
Yeah.
I'm sending stuff to, I'm pretty close with our dean, Bernie Ankney, through Point Park.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly sending him stuff. Like the Cleveland show we did for 880, I sent him over. The last IWC show I just did, I sent him over. Obviously, the AEW stuff, I texted him the night of. Literally, as soon as I was done, I was like, hey, you guys got to post this now. You guys got to throw this up right now. This is probably the biggest experience of my life. And you just got to be persistent. That's kind of how I got my in with 882. Went there as a fan. And then I kind of asked around. I was like, hey, if you have any openings, let me know.
you were doing camera for us.
I was doing camera for you guys. That was my in.
And this is, I can't remember if I told you a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about this. I was telling Missy this recently because I was like, you were in the camera. Again, I saw the passion, and I saw you move to commentary after like a few weeks. And I was a little offended by that, but I was like, it's okay. I see where he wants to go. That's fine. You know, this kind of thing. Because I was sad to lose you as a camera person, honestly, because you were kicking ass right out of the bat.
Appreciate that.
And everything. So, but I also, you know, I know Point Park. You know, people are ready to go half the time when I see people out of Point Park. That's been my experience with that and teaching there and stuff too. And I have a long relationship with Point Park with one thing or another. So, personally, wish I went to school there. Actually, so,
It's a great school.
yeah. I was like, I went to the Art Institute. That was a freaking mistake. But anyways, other than that. Pitt's great too, guys, by the way. So,
Pitt is
we
good.
have our Pitt interns
Too bad
here.
they don't really have a
And we're-
broadcasting program.
They got a film program.
It's growing. It's trying.
Whoa, you're working on it? We're working on it.
Okay,
Max
that's
says
good
we're
to see.
working on it.
Hail
So,
to Pitt.
There you go. Listen, I would love a competitive broadcasting like between you guys' schools. Like
Yeah, Point Park's real competition right now is just think Waynesburg right now. I think there were the only other one.
Like I think that's really important to just to like, oh cool, I can go over here, like I have a lot of choice with that kind of thing. So, and you can do so much with that at Pitt, right? There's it's such a bigger school. You have all the sports and everything.
They have a nice athletics department too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You do a lot with that, right? I'm always amazed doing the SAE stuff, seeing the kids, like seeing their business presentations and seeing the media that's being done and the kids coming out there. Like this one kid came out with like a red camera. I'm like, show me what you got, buddy. Like I can't even afford that, and they hired me. You know what I mean? So, but obviously it belongs to the school. Like when we were talking about equipment earlier with Pitt, they're just like, don't break this because it's half your tuition. So, but anyways, aside from that, obviously you pressed on this thing and everything. So what was, you got to meet Tony.
Tony, yes. Crazy experience.
Listen, we all make the jokes, everybody makes the jokes like, oh, he's on, the speculations or whatever. But I just think he's a hyper energetic wrestling fan personally.
Very.
That has the money to do things with it. So, what was that vibe when you got to meet Tony?
Well, I didn't even know I was going to meet Tony right away. It was kind of after the show. I was just talking with Amanda, and we were just kind of sitting like right on the floor seat, right behind the floor seats pretty much during most of the show. And she was like, yeah, I'll take you backstage. Let you meet Tony, let you meet some of the other guys. And then if you want anybody else, we can, because she's never done anything like this with anybody before. Because I asked her throughout the night, I was like, hey, has anybody ever done something like this? And she's like, no, I have no clue what I'm really doing. I'm just kind of showing you around.
She doesn't have a clue.
So I was just kind of there. Again, you said it perfectly. It's like a Make-A-Wish thing.
Yeah.
But we go backstage, meet Tony, and he literally just got done wrapping up the show. Like the Darby Allin segment was just finishing up, and that's when Darby Allin came back. And the first thing he said was, he was like, I was so worried I was gonna light that ring on fire. I almost caught the top rope on fire. I almost tripped on the stair. I saw Moxley fall.
Dude, I'm watching that. Like I'm like halfway up the stands, and I'm just like, that's on the edge right there, that stunt,
Darby was like talking to some of the like EVPs back there, and he was like, yeah, I did not want to catch that on fire. And then I'm just kind of standing there with Amanda, and Amanda's like, oh, hey, what's up, Darby? This is Austin. And he's like, oh, hey, nice to meet you, Austin. I'm like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. He has a flamethrower in one hand. He's shaking my hand with another. So then Tony wraps up what he's doing, and Amanda was like, hey, Tony, can we borrow you for a second? He's like, yeah, of course. And then she introduced me to Tony, kind of told my story a little bit, and he was like, oh, yeah, you were the one that was on commentary for Hook's match. And I was like, oh, God, Tony knows that I was on for Hook's match, which is crazy. So he shakes my hand, and he's pretty much almost everything the internet says. He's definitely a big fan of wrestling. I don't know if he blinked at all in our conversation that we had. But Tony was...
So the rumors are true.
Rumors are true. But Tony is an amazing guy, and you can tell he's
yeah.
passionate about this business.
Yeah.
Like, he loves professional wrestling. So I shook his hand, and the cool part that he said was he was going to listen to it back, and they were going to send it over eventually, which they're in the midst of doing right now. I've been in contact with them the last couple weeks.
Good.
And he was saying, yeah, let's get a picture. He was like, just keep on the grind, man, and yeah, maybe you'll do something like this one day. And he saw the passion I had, and I think that kind of gelled. And we had like a nice 5-minute conversation, which was pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome.
Tony was awesome.
I mean, but that's the way to do it, because now you're on the radar. I know. In I always thought, again, kind of talking about this as we were seeing the pictures and talking with other people what was happening, and I was like, well, you do have a foot in the door because you're going through a broadcast school. I several of our friends, you may have had conversations with the same ones I have, talking about like if you don't go through broadcast school, WWE doesn't even want to look at you, things like that. So already you kind of have like an in on top of an in for something like this. So and it also brings. Have you ever talked to Nick Lendl?
Yes,
About
Nick
his.
Lendl.
Did you ever talk to him about his experience with NXT?
I have, yeah. Actually, just this Saturday, yeah.
He had a very kind of similar experience where he just like muscled his way into a tour and did a ring announcer spot. You know, so and that's really motivating. I mean, well, he did Ring of Honor for the longest time, right?
Yeah, he did Ring of Honor. He has a few WWE tryouts. Yeah, we were talking about a lot this weekend.
Like it's a very, I want to say similar, but it's along that grind idea, you know. So, and I think they told him the same thing. Hey, get to an indie, do work your stuff out. And I think that's when he found like IWC in Cleveland and stuff and whatever, and got in the car with Joe and stuff. So
that's what you gotta do. You gotta get in the car with Joe.
Yeah,
that's what I did this weekend too. We went to Dayton. Yeah,
that's what I learned a lot in the car with Joe too. So,
you learn a lot with Joe.
Yes, Joe Dombrowski. You hear at the beginning of
Joe
this show
do karaoke for you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, Joe did a lot of karaoke.
Yes.
The second Celine Dion came on, Joe was vibing.
My heart will go on.
That's
yes.
the song.
Did he do the DX Run GMC for you?
I think he did the first time around, not this time. Though.
Oh man.
Not this time.
Oh,
I crashed on him on the way home. We didn't get back till like 5 a.m.
Did I see you guys went to Wrestle Revolver?
Yeah, we went to Revolver.
They're out in Dayton, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, because I saw some pictures pop up from there, and it looked like you had. But that's exactly what you need to do: get in that car, get out there, get in front of people, and you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
So.
that's where a lot of those opportunities come. Like the whole AEW thing wouldn't have been possible without like doing stuff with Joe, doing stuff with 880, just kind of asking around, just being persistent enough. And that's how I met Daniel Bryan too, which was still crazy. I can't believe I met him.
What's the biggest thing you learned from your experience doing this?
Biggest thing I've learned
that day.
Well, the biggest thing I learned is how crazy the production is. Like the amount of moving parts. Like they had an entire section of the arena blocked off just for props, just for gear, just for hair and makeup. So like the amount of bodies that it takes that goes into it, I think is sick. It's so surreal. But the biggest thing that I really learned is honestly just keep grinding. You really got to like get the reps in. Tony Schiavone, the one thing that he told me that I thought was pretty cool, he said, listen to yourself back, put yourself in a mirror, just get comfortable with yourself, and that's how you can get on camera. And I'm kind of already pretty comfortable on camera. I'm talking to you right now on camera, so this is pretty easy. But it's just about getting those reps, and you got to be consistent with it. Like if you take a week or two off, you're not going to polish your craft. You kind of have to be consistent every single week.
And that's, I mean, you're doing that. You're doing the few weekly shows, for instance, in town here with us at 8080, and been doing tremendous with that. Working with Eamon, who's got a good upbringing as far as stuff that he's been doing from down in Texas and coming up here. Toddy, I don't know if you saw the pictures I put out, because there's a great circle that happens, especially before the big shows, where I see all three of the commentators. Like it looks like like you're doing notes. Like Toddy's like holding court or something,
Commentators court,
which is funny because I think like Eamon actually has more experience than Toddy, but still like it's a good vibe. Like amongst all you guys, I know Toddy's in the chat room. He said hi before, by the way.
What's up, Toddy?
But I love seeing that. I love that Eamon's gotten into things.
Yeah.
I love seeing the new blood with you. I love that like Toddy, is like what do you call himself? Kinetic wallpaper. I love that vibe. And there's this cool thing that's happening in commentary. Certainly is the strongest it's been during this project. I think right now with the trio of you guys at it.
Yeah, we bounce off each other really well. Like you're
pushing each other.
Yeah, when me and Eamon were on commentary for a while, we bounced off each other real well. I listened to a couple stuff with Toddy and Eamon too. They bounce off each other really well. Me and Toddy bounce. Like it's like a nice thing because there's not necessarily like a heel or like a heel commentator. It's just kind of three play-by-play guys just bouncing different ideas off. I've kind of stepped more into the Keller role a little bit, but like with some of the storylines that's going on, like especially with Leaders by Example. But outside of that, I mean, we just kind of bounce off each other.
And I love seeing that. I love seeing people just kind of drop in, and it's like they've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of a beautiful thing that happens there. So again, I presume you're going to be part of this World Series show.
I will be.
Thursday night fights the next couple of weeks and everything like that. And who knows what show Joe's going to drag you along to. So, I love that you're getting the professional experience and the like indie experience, because not to call it unprofessional, but it's different.
It's much different. Much different.
That's tremendous. So where can people find your stuff? I know you're all over my LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm a LinkedIn guy.
Yeah.
Well, you can find me on LinkedIn, X, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Did I say Facebook? Facebook, yeah. I'm pretty much everywhere. I'm pretty much on every platform at Austin Cairns. My main podcast, Two Jagoffs. That's kind of where I'm at twice a week. Those are pretty much the three places.
And there is a lot of wrestling on there too. So
There's a lot
go
of
check that out.
wrestling.
I see the clips pop up in my feed. I'm like, oh, I know that guy. I know that guy. Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
we've had.
Like you even like John on there. Some guy named John on
Well,
there.
it wasn't by decision. It
Yeah.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
He just kind of bullied his way on.
Kind of the same vibe, right?
He just kind of bullied his way on.
Yeah. Just like meaner, I guess. So awesome. It's awesome to see the opportunity. Awesome to see somebody doing some really cool stuff. So and I hope you guys take some notes from this as well out there. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and we're going to work on intern Mac's homework assignment after this.
For mercy, you are alone, unable to handle the pressure of forced mortification. Now let the torture begin.
I'm Eamon,
I'm Merlin,
and we're a gay.
and his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His Envy is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His Envy on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
We are back. It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. And as you can tell, we have Austin Cairns here from Point Park University, and we are all about education here on the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Isn't that right, Mike?
Absolutely, Sorg. Absolutely.
What is-
We're nothing if not educators.
Exactly. We're educating people about wrestling.
Some of us literally.
Yeah, exactly. So we have intern Mac on the couch now. Oh, he's just shorter than the other guy. Sorry, there you go. The couch eats you. I get it.
No. Let the couch eat you. Just fully sink into it. That's how the couch becomes one with you.
Accept the couch. Become one with the couch in the podcast.
Pretty comfy couch.
Yeah, pull that mic a little closer to you there. So there's a lot of butts that have been on that couch that are now champions on promotions. So international superstars have been on that couch before they were stars. Some of them didn't wear pants. So, Mac, remind us again for our audience, what is your experience with professional wrestling?
I know nothing about professional wrestling. I watched one WWE event 2 weeks ago, and that's it.
That's it. But of course,
boy.
but you've been to 880. You've done video for it. I mean, you're finding an interest in it through that experience, right?
Yeah, no. Every time I go to 880, I have so much fun. I actually dragged my one buddy. I was like, hey, you have to go see this. I know that you don't care about wrestling, but I'm enjoying this, so I need to share it with someone. So I don't know.
Which is not unusual because again, Ashley has done shows with us for a couple years now. I don't think she watches wrestling at all. Her boyfriend is not interested, but she is completely down to do this in MMA with us, and it's kind of a different experience, and it's wild. Everything's kind of happening. It is the most, you're talking about kinetic wallpaper. It's kind of the most kinetic live experience I think you can get out there, right? So obviously, you don't know the backgrounds, you don't know the best matches, you don't have this experience. You're very new to this. I don't want to say this concept of professional wrestling. I feel like I'm diminishing this world of professional wrestling we're so excited about that I've been doing a podcast for 20 years for. So we want to bring back something. We used to have, Mike, do you remember what we used to call the homework assignment that we used to have? Like, did we just call it a homework assignment? We did this
I think we just called it a homework assignment.
Yeah.
Because then we had someone who was on here that pretended to be a teacher, and less said about that guy, the better.
Oh, that's right, the professor. That's right. We did that over COVID because there was nothing to talk about in wrestling. So we're like, give us a homework assignment of something to watch. I completely forgot that's something we
His
did.
His name was like Jacoby Edgar or something like that.
It was.
I don't remember names.
It was
people
Jacob.
that I've fully vested with my knowledge.
It was Jacob Edwin. He was allegedly a professor. We haven't seen him for a while, so
not
I think
a real professor.
He might have been disbarred. Is it disbarred? I don't know how that works. This is why I was
I'm
only
technically a real professor now too.
You are technically a
professor. I have something over him. Excellent.
I'm still trying to figure out how I was a professor for a minute, adjunct without a teaching degree like you do.
It's okay. I don't have one either.
Don't you need a master's?
Yeah, you do. I think I need a master's. I'm like, how am I like? Do you not need a master's for Point Park University?
Depends on where you go.
Yeah, like for the Pittsburgh Technical Institute, I think I was okay. I just needed to teach them web design, right?
Look, you've done your 10,000 hours.
I guess, yeah, but that doesn't give you a degree, and I'm still paying for the piece of paper. So, anyways, Mac, the point is, so We're going to give you a homework assignment. And professor in air quotes says Potter. So you've been kicked out of the fake professor to protect education. Anyways, and I don't, you know what? We did talk about, you brought up a match earlier, Mike, and I think that might be a very good starting point for this, right?
Which one?
The parking lot brawl.
Wow, that's an excellent start.
And I just found it like on YouTube when we were talking about. So, Mike, what set up the parking lot brawl for Mac for this watch?
Oh man! All right, so you've heard of John Cena, right?
Sure.
John Phoenix, Anthony Cena.
We'll say that I did.
Say that I did.
Okay, but you've heard the name John Cena, and he's got.
Have you seen Peacemaker? Okay.
No, I get a bunch of stuff about it. I want to watch it. I just haven't had time.
Okay.
All right.
Do you know? Do you know the concept of John Cena?
Do you know you can't see?
No,
me?
I know the concept. Okay. I know the concept of John Cena. I know.
Well,
all the
actually,
memes.
it kind of makes sense that you haven't seen John Cena. So.
I was waiting for it.
But
Damn it.
I was waiting for it, Sorg.
So John Cena, back in the day, was known to be a rapper of sorts. He would mostly do kind of improv diss tracks on his opponents, and I believe he was U.S. champion at this point with Eddie, and eventually he got to a point where I believe someone attacked someone else with a crowbar or a tire iron or something like that. And WWE used to do these really fun matches called parking lot brawls, where they would have a whole bunch of cars in a circle, and all the headlights would be on, and the wrestlers would be like hanging around the cars, like being the crowd essentially, because it's backstage, it's pre-recorded, so you don't get a live crowd audience for it. But they would essentially, like, the heels would cheer the heels, the faces would cheer the faces, and Eddie and John just beat the crap out of each other. It was a really, really fun match.
By the way, this match happened on September 11th, 2003. Happy 2-year anniversary.
And we've never forgotten, Sorg. We've never forgotten it. It's a very good match.
Yes.
For this project of you starting your homework assignments for us, it's an excellent match to start with.
It's only 9.5 minutes, so it's not going to be a heavy lift for you.
It's breezy.
Yeah, so we put the YouTube link. Thank you, WWE Vault, for posting old matches, and we put that link in the.
I know those guys.
I know the.
Thank you, WWE Vault. Keep doing good work.
There you go. I'm sure something came from it, right? So that's in there, and we expect a full report from you next week after watching that. And let us know if it led you down any rat holes beyond that. So kind of situation. You get the smile out of your face. I don't know if did you pull it up yet already?
I'm already thinking
Be up
of
until
what the
3 a.m.
second
tonight just watching wrestling. I'll do a full MLA
And-
report for it.
Yeah, 12-point font, double space, Times
That's right.
New Roman.
That's right. I don't want to get to do that. I don't need a PowerPoint presentation, but please have something prepared for next week. Professor Sorg and Professor Mad Mike are on the case, and we will be grading you, and as will the chat room.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorg,
So
if anyone who knows me, you know what my first assignment is going to be.
what was your
I'm just going to say it has to do with someone on Raw versus someone on SmackDown, but they were in a different company where there were, shall we say, less rules.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh no, Sorg, you think about me and my sensibilities for a hot second, you'll figure it out.
I when I'm not off of a road trip all day, I'll probably figure this out. So
just gave
there
a
we
big
go.
clue, too.
Enter Tony. You can watch this too and give your feedback because I don't know how far back your wrestling knowledge goes, being a youngin. But yeah, we will compare notes and
What's
classes
a
in
match that you
session.
can do in WWE 2K25 now?
Okay. Anyways, so we have an assignment. We have that in, and this is. I hope this goes on the internship report. So.
Oh hell yeah! If it does, then you're definitely doing this next match. Absolutely.
Anyways, on that note, hey, give a shout out to our friends feeding our guests here tonight. I was like, listen, I got 3 college students in school in school, in the studio tonight. How many pizzas slice do I need? And they're like, you're gonna get 2. I'm like, yes, I will. I trust you. You're the experts in pizza portioning. So thank you so much, Slice on Broadway, supporting the show well over a decade. Oh my God, over half of our 20 years of professional wrestling podcasting. So right up the street is the original, the OG, with Rico and the gang up there. The what was it? The world's best cheese pizza, as awarded in Las Vegas earlier this year. The same place that Beastman destroyed several years ago. They actually told me on the phone that they still show people that video. I actually put it recently back up on the internet over on the IndieWrestling.us, or maybe I put it on the Mayhem Show account. I can't remember. It's in the social media somewhere. Beastman Pizza Slice on Broadway. You'll probably find the video in the Google. I'll make sure of it.
Travels well across state lines.
And it travels. I took a pizza, an entire slice pizza, to Mad Mike in upstate New York, in eastern upstate New York, rewarmed it, and we all enjoyed it in his kitchen, and it was delightful. Yes, we all broke pizza bread together. So, good shit. Good shit. SliceOnBroadway.com. That's their official new logo. Good shit. This is why we do this late in the show.
Pal.
What's that?
It's good shit.
It's
pal.
good shit, pal. SliceOnBroadway.com. That's an official Wrestling Mayhem Show ad right there. It's time to find out what you learned in wrestling this week. Reclusa versus Penta? Oh,
That is the match.
that was the call.
Penta
Reclusa
got it
versus
in
Penta.
one.
Wait till we get to the Lucha Underground portion of the syllabus, Mac.
Sword,
Well, we need to start them on the
right into.
We need to start everybody on the standard wrestling, and of course, by standard wrestling, we started with the parking lot brawl. So, anyways, Mike, what did you learn from wrestling this week?
Okay, so I learned something very important. Sorg, if I were to ask you who the first wrestler is that was nominated for an Emmy for acting, who would you guess?
I'm guessing that's John Cena just got that.
Not John Cena. Not Dwayne. Not Batista. Not Terry. Not Randy Savage. Not Roddy Piper. For the Children's Emmy Awards, nominated, did not win, Adam Copeland. For Percy Jackson, nominated for a Children's Emmy Award.
Huh.
I think we may have in the running, because I've read those books. His role gets bigger. I think if they give him the right episode, we could have a wrestler winning a Children's Emmy. Because Adam Copeland on the Percy Jackson show, if you haven't seen it, it's on Disney Plus. He plays Ares, the god of war. He is very, very good. He's very good in it. He is fan-flippin-tastic. He's awesome in the show. And I saw like a little, they did behind the scenes because he had to fight a small child. It's awesome. It's very cool. It's so much fun. I cannot recommend it enough. So that's what I learned. I learned that while we have this discussion of who might be winning awards, someone, may sneak in.
Looks very Highlander.
Sneak in.
He was also in Highlander.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Percy Jackson is based on Greek mythology. So
Sure. It'd be great if he also reprised the Highlander role from when he was in Endgame. Was it Endgame? Yeah, I think it was Highlander Endgame. Either way, that's cool. Awesome. Austin, what'd you learn recently in wrestling, other than what we talked about?
I've learned that fans are starting to get behind Carmelo Hayes, it feels like.
Yeah.
On SmackDown.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the direction that we're starting to go now. And I've also learned that any up-and-comer that you put Miz with, whether it's in a tag team or whether it's in a feud, usually pays off in the long run.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what I've learned.
I mean, there is a little bit of the Miz makes stars by making you hate, like,
hate his guts.
I hate you, therefore. I kind of have that role. Like, have you worked with J-Rock anywhere yet?
Are
you aware of this?
I know J-Rock.
There was a thing where, Reese came in and did a match in RWA. Mikey came in and did a match in RWA. And they weren't really given much for being a character other than, and they were cheered. I was like, well, it's easy to get cheered here. You're not Gianni. You're not J-Rock. They hate them. So all you need to be is the other guy and play your part, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's what happens with Miz too. Like, and obviously Miz is a good, probably, he's a good guy to get you kind of going and stuff. But also, you hate him enough that you're just going to be, when the turn happens, you're just like, yeah, this guy, please beat him up. And it's a good starting point. It's a really good starting point, right? What's that, Mike?
Mike Mizan, as always, the king of safe style.
King of safe style, yes. So
good way to put it.
Yes, we got some from the chat room here. Matt Birch learned that Maxine Dupree. How do we do it, Mike? Dupree. Oh God.
Yeah.
I learned that Maxine D has improved as much as a performer recently as she had a banger match with Becky Lynch on Raw this week. I only saw the end part of it.
It was a good match.
So I feel like I need to rewatch all of this stuff. Dave Podner apparently is still awake. You got an early flight, sir. You need to go to bed. Hopefully you went to bed right after this. I learned that from last week's show, Bradley calves are made for slapping. We talked about Brianna Bands attacking Bradley at ringside. What Tina in Seattle has learned from wrestling, Jimmy is the Timmy Turner to Punk's and LA's Wanda and Cosmo. I've seen this reference several times. I do not, like, fairy godparents? Is that the reference?
Yeah. I get.
Okay.
I get.
Okay. If you know,
I don't know if I like it.
I don't know if I like it.
It's a weird story that they're doing, because like none of them can actually go for the title because of the crown jewel stuff. So it's just like, you'd think there would be a number one contenders match, but there isn't.
This is just like something to play with while we're in that number one contender purgatory. They can all just hate each other for a while and be entertaining.
Yeah, but like we're in October. Spoiler alert: Survivor Series is next.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there ain't gonna be a title match on that.
You sure about that?
Unless we're doing War Games
for a title match. I don't know. I think there still could be. I don't know that there's signs that the champions would necessarily both be in the War Games at this point, but I could be wrong.
You don't think so? Well, maybe not Cody.
But yeah, like I could see Seth's group being in War Games, but wow. God, what I learned from wrestling this week. Did I have any wrestling related experiences? Flamethrowers are fun.
You're thinking, I learned I need the Dominic as a child shirt that he wore last night on Raw.
There's Dominic as a child shirt. Is it on WWE Shop? Have we checked that yet?
No, it's not. And I just asked someone in the know, like, when is that shirt going to shop? Because I need it.
I think they can, right? Because, I mean, like, why not, right? Geez, Pete's Darby, no spoilers. So apparently some fun stuff's happened on Dynamite tonight. I'm just going to watch Dynamite at the regular time I watch Dynamite and just pretend it's just Wednesday. Probably. We'll see if social media lets me do that. So, because I'm not trying to watch it tonight because I'm going to barely get these shows out for you guys. So, I learned that I need to watch Percy Jackson apparently because Adam Copeland's amazing in it. I have no interest in Percy Jackson otherwise, but apparently that's a thing I need to I also learned there's some things with storylines worse than professional wrestling, and that's rom-coms with 1 star on Amazon Prime. That's for Amazon, or that's for AwesomeCast for that explanation. I also learned that if you leave yourself logged in at an Airbnb, I'm going to watch wrestling on your YouTube account. And that's definitely not what you were watching in that YouTube account before, but it is now.
Lucha Underground?
No, I didn't watch Lucha Underground.
You should give them the most craziest wrestling.
I should have. The thing that we didn't think about is we should have subscribed them to every one of our podcasts that we do and indie wrestling. So that was a miss on my part. I had the idea that we should have brought up one of those wrestling, like a wrestling match, that then it would play into the next wrestling match and just let that go overnight. So really mess with their algorithm, right? So because sometimes I actually do that. Like sometimes, you ever like you watch a YouTube video and then you put your phone down and take your earphones out and put it on the charger, and then you didn't realize that the videos have been just auto playing in the background all night on silent, and you wake up and you realize your algorithm is like, I went where, so like you woke, you just wake up and you're like, oh shit, my phone's been radicalized. So because allegedly that's what YouTube does. So you get it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you go from watching wrestling at one point to watching animals.
To watching animals, watching those weird CG videos of Spider-Man doing weird things, and we're just like, who made this stuff?
Sorg, You need to save "My phone has been radicalized" for a title.
My phone has been radicalized with Austin Cairns.
You need to save that for a title for AwesomeCast.
For AwesomeCast?
Yeah.
It's too on the edge of being political, but yes, I think I will. So I think it's funnier if we just drop it on this. So either way, do you guys want to share anything that you learned this week? Mac, what'd you learn? Come on, you got a microphone in front of you.
I learned, I don't know if this is learning, but I thought it was fun that earlier there was wrestling on while we were getting stuff ready for the show, and one of the wrestlers.
You can call them characters. That's appropriate, actually.
Okay, one of the characters was wearing an anime-inspired outfit, and I thought that was really, really neat.
Which one was that?
I don't know their names. He's wearing the white coat and the chest was open.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh, we need to introduce you to Rhea Ripley as Vegeta and Sasha Banks as Sailor Moon.
I don't think we had the audio on for that. Who was Vegeta for that one?
Rhea Ripley as Vegeta and Sasha Banks as Sailor Moon.
There's actually a really strong anime contingent amongst the wrestlers, and you see that on the indies too. There's a lot of that, especially Will Ospreay will come out as Assassin's Creed a lot, and actually to the point where they actually have a sponsorship with him, and now he's in America. Kenny Omega he does video games.
He does Street Fighter.
He does Street Fighter though. Who's the New Japan? I thought somebody in New Japan did a lot of anime stuff too. Am I mistaken?
They're probably in AEW now.
Yeah, that's probably true. But obviously Selena Vega, Athena does some really good cosplay kind of stuff too.
Rey Mysterio does good cosplay.
Rey Mysterio's been every major comic book character for WrestleMania until he got a cease and desist. So, there's that. The demand with their One Piece jackets over on the Demand. Which one's the Demand? Why is that? That's a TNA thing? No, that's Ricochet. Actually, that's Ricochet's group. Sorry. Yeah. Anyways, on that note, thank you, Austin, once again. 2 Jagoffs podcasts.
Yes.
It's you and another random Jagoff.
Yep, another random Jagoff.
Yes. There'll be one. You're one of them.
I'm one of them. I'm Pittsburgh's favorite Jagoff.
And then there's a surprise Jagoff.
Usually a surprise Jagoff. I do have 2 intertwining hosts at the moment.
Okay.
My buddy Lucas Coons, and actually my dad is the other Jagoff. So
okay.
we have 2 other Jagoffs that come on every once in a while.
There you go.
Yes.
Have you ever connected with yet Jagoff?
We have not, no.
Okay, talk to Katie.
Okay.
So about that.
Noted.
That definitely.
That's my homework.
That should probably definitely happen. So they're good friends of ours in the show and everything. So what's that?
I'm going to try and meet Harley Cameron.
You're going to try to meet. You're trying to meet Harley Cameron?
New York Comic Con.
New York Comic Con. I had a brief brush with her in Philadelphia, and she seems delightful. Also, considering the company she keeps, probably very delightful. So, anyways. Mad Mike 4883 on the social medias. You're around. Dad Mike, some
Yes.
places as well.
Absolutely. And if you do see me at New York Comic Con, you address me as Mad Mike, you get to chop me. Standard rules.
When is that? Next week?
This weekend.
This weekend.
This weekend,
I
y'all.
miss New York Comic Con so much. I got to make my way up
Sorg, I've missed New York Comic Con. I didn't go last year for the first time non-COVID related
there.
reasons
Wow.
because I had child related reasons.
Well, I mean, those are good reasons. So, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yes.
New York Comic Con happened to be on my son's birthday weekend and my wife's anniversary
Mhm.
weekend. So, you know, good reasons to miss those.
Stay tuned for the Patreon if you have access to that. We will be, if you're on the stream on Patreon or if you're checking it out later, where I will be asking Mad Mike that when he takes his child to Comic-Con for the first time, what will be the father and son cosplay? Find out on Patreon. Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week. We got some interesting guests we're in talks with, some returning names that we haven't seen for a while, and I'm sure we'll be talking up things going into the big weekend next week on IndieWrestling.us. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.